You are now tuned to BS3 Network. You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing? I hope y'all can hear me. So if you're in the comments, please comment. Let us know that you can hear us. It looks like we were experiencing a little technical difficulties there. But welcome to Perspective. As always, we'll kind of go into our introductions. We'll give out our kind of platform statement. Here at Perspective, what our platform is about can be found right there in the name. Perspective. This is a safe place. This is a truth place. This is a place where it's free and open to share different views, different ideas, your opinions, different lived experiences, right? And also you're definitely going to run into individuals who may not see things the way you see it. That doesn't make them right, you wrong, or you right and them wrong. It simply means it's different. And when we take the opportunity to listen, understand, and be open to listening to other people's opinions, perspectives, lived experiences, it actually brings us close together. And that's what we really need to try to accomplish here on Perspective. So with that being said, I am Eric Butler, AKA The Intellect, AKA The Atlantic, because I'm cold, deep, and choppy. AKA Cullinan, because I'm the biggest diamond ever found on land, and there ain't nothing nobody can do about it. With that, I'm a father, Black man, grandfather. I've been in the talent acquisition space and career space for about 17 years, just a little short of 2 decades. With that being said, that has led me into some career coaching, some counseling, career development work. I also am in the community with the Empower series, which is a financial literacy nonprofit. So I encourage you all to go onto YouTube. That's the best place. Look up the Empower series, see what the content is that we share. It'll be helpful. Share it, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But with that being said, I'm just generally a person that wants to share what he has learned over his time. Some people feel like it's beneficial. So I'm out here giving it the best I can. All right. With that being said, I'm going to pass the mic. And normally I say their name, but I'm going to let them do that and quit stealing their shine. So I'll pass it over to my super duper, super califragilisticexpialidocious co-host and let them have it.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Latoya, aka his wife, aka them kids' mama. So I'm Latoya. I'm a licensed professional counselor. I'm an author. I'm a speaker, and I'm kind of excited about the topic tonight. Like, we're gonna see how E do it today. You know, he be kind of controversial, so we're gonna see how it go.
No, I'll take it.
So you want to do the comments first?
All right. Well, yeah, let's do the comments first. If everybody doesn't know, Perspective is riding on the let's say the tanker of network of BS3 Network. And so you can support BS3 Network by sending stars. Stars help us earn money to continue building the network. And we thank you. If you don't notice that Ben Sutter III puts the BS3 into the BS3 Network. All right, Mr. J. Gilliard. All right. That's my partner right there.
My man.
There you go. Say welcome. He said, welcome to the show. And he's talking to you all in the comments. So if you're watching, we definitely want to make a precursor. Definitely comment. Share your thoughts. I'm telling you, your question is probably what many other people have that question. Your comments may really enlighten someone, which is the purpose and the benefit of that. So don't be shy. This is a safe place. This is a safe tree. We mean that. If somebody get wrong, we all coming for them. So definitely interact. It definitely is going to be beneficial. So thank you. Wilfredo Ortero. He said, yes, I can hear you. Thank you. Thank you for confirming that. Aspen is in the building. Aspen Smith says, hello, everyone. Can I hear you? Yeah, let's get it. You say, let's get into it. I like it. Facebook user says, hey, also, quick note, if you logged on, if you go back to the invite, there should be a link in StreamYard. You can be able to click that so we can see your name. We definitely want to be able to refer to you properly and accordingly. And then Miss Steph, as I like to call her, hey everyone, hey to you, hey to you, hey to you. Thank you for being in the building. So we'll, and then Facebook user says hello again. Definitely give permission to StreamYard just to present your name. You don't have to give your blood type, nothing too serious. It ain't gonna track you down. You just want your name to be seen. All right, with that, the title, Doc, we can jump right into it. The delusion. I said it.
Why it gotta be a delusion? Why? I mean,
I know that's, you know why? For that reason right there.
I should put my boxing gloves on today because I see you like you ready.
It might get there. Motherhood versus womanhood. They are not the same.
Nah, they not.
So let me set the plate. Conversation. I was contacted. So if anybody doesn't know, if you have a topic or a subject or a situation you would like viewed, talked about, discussed, definitely share it with me. And as you can see, it'll definitely make it into the queue. So this was brought to me. The circumstances are they are running into, and this may pertain to single mothers, but I think it's also single women in general. They just so happen to be of that beautiful melanated color. That's all I'm gonna say. But with that being said, the premise was they think that if they're a successful mother and they've done a good job as a mother, doing all of those independent type things, providing, being there for them, that automatically equates to them being a good woman or a great catch, or as the title of the picture, if you saw the advertisement, that they are the prize. So I want to discuss and allude to, I think that they're two different things.
Okay.
Just because you're good at one does not make you qualified or that valuable on the other.
Okay.
All right.
So Facebook user says, I'm at work, Sherilyn, so I'm not really on Facebook. I feel you, Miss Sherilyn.
Yes,
We won't even see you. Let's get that off of there. So I actually think if we're going from the single mom angle, I think if you are an amazing single mom, I think it makes you on paper a great, like on paper, you look like you're going to be a phenomenal partner, but I don't know that it translates that way.
Yeah. So I think, and this kind of equates to the single mothers, that on paper, it's still not going to look like it's not even going to look like that.
No. Yes, it is. Let me tell you. I got you. Hold on. Because if you're a single mom and you're doing it well, because we are under the assumption that they are excelling at this, correct?
Yes.
So
they think they're excelling at it, but go right ahead.
We're going to say that they're excelling because I've been a single mom before and it's a whole thing and you really got it's a grind. But anyway, if you are doing it well, then on paper, you are organized, efficient. You're able to compromise. You're able to go with the flow. Things that happen abruptly don't shake you because you're used to that. Like on paper, you look like you got it together because you're running a whole house by yourself. So on paper, I think you do. I think it does make you look good. But when it translates, I don't think it translates like that.
Because I think the important thing, those are very tangible attributes. I think that's something that any person would want in a partner on either side, right?
Right.
So I think the real disconnect is the perception versus the reality that doesn't equate and make you a good partner. There are so many other aspects.
I don't think so.
No, absolutely. And I'm talking to the masses. So I'm definitely not getting on you, Doc. Because listen,
Okay.
you locked yours down. You did that. He didn't brag. Y'all got to go back and look at the other shows. I'm telling you, this dude, I'm telling you, he'll walk out into this Texas heat barefooted for this one right here. So you didn't done what you had to do. And
Okay, hold on. Hit the comments, and then we're gonna let you explain your point of
right.
view.
Facebook user says two different things is correct. Tanya Hicks.
I
Hey
agree.
Tanya, how you doing? Definitely doesn't translate necessarily.
Agree.
Hey, see, she said my single mom was amazing and then got married.
Girl, you better tell these people. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. And Doc, you didn't say your precursor, and we understand that not all of this is a monolith. So this doesn't apply to every single individual.
Right.
We realize this, but there is a segment. There is instances, and we're running into that where the mindset, because I think the real conversation is going to delve into not only perspective but perception. Like you may see yourself as something like that, but you need to look better into what really makes that make you a prize to the other person. Because this came to me in the in the presence of speaking as why do women think because they're single mothers and they've been holding it down as a single mom that makes them the prize, that they're just all this great woman, when in turn they don't want to listen, they really don't manage the children. Now they go and make sure that the children are healthy, fed, got a home and a roof, but sometimes it lacks in the quality of upbringing. And then I know that's going to spill over and say, well, where the daddy and he should be contributing. I'm just
Hold
listen.
on. Who said they ain't managing the children? Who said that?
I'm the messenger. I'm the messenger. I'm gonna say that throughout the night.
Don't
I'm the
have
messenger.
to. Don't have to.
So with that being said, like that, the children are disrespectful. Children ain't got no couth about themselves. But despite that, that's overseen, that's overlooked. And they still feel like because I've held things together, that makes me the prize.
I think if you have disrespectful children, you're not the prize. Because, excuse me, it takes a lot to step into the shoes and take care of a child that's not yours. And then you're going to add in disrespect.
What disrespect?
So in my mind, I just see somebody's bad teenage son walking around saying you ain't my daddy, and like trying to fight the new dude, or what. Like that's what my brain went. Like, so if your children are bad, I don't know that makes you a prize.
That's what I would think, and I was really I understood the individual who was talking to me about this, giving me this scenario. And this is real life scenario. So if you got their teenage, older children, or were trying to shoot darts, because they're telling me this, I said, oh, they were trying to create an issue. But I was really impressed with their decision and how they managed the circumstance, right? So they just kind of alluded to, kind of trying to teach him and played it off with comedy, so to speak, and he wouldn't allow that to occur. But I don't think he can approach, or they can approach their other half with the conversation, because it's going to blow up. And the main point about this, these are elements, but his other half tends to have the premise of making these comments about they are a great catch and that they are a great woman. And
well, let me just say, can I just say that?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think they should translate, right? Like good moms are nurturing and they pay their bills and they're compassionate and blah, blah, blah. And I think that should translate to relationships, but I don't think it always does, especially with single moms, because you so used to running it. How do you turn it over to somebody else? And I think that's the disconnect. Like children aside, because they're going to grow up and leave anyway. But I think the things that make a single mom strong, while it should be a compliment to the relationship, I think it also makes them not necessarily a great catch as a former single mom.
Yeah. And I think that's the premise. That's to put that out there. I think there's a lot more. So this really comes into having a discussion about really what makes a great catch, what makes a great woman.
Okay,
being a mother.
Yeah, because it takes a lot. Before we do that, hit the comments.
Mr. Ben Sutter III says, "Good evening, Eric and Doc.
Hey.
Good evening.
Hold on, don't do that.
So Aspen Smith says, I'd like to know what the definition of managing children is and what the definition of they don't like to listen is, that in reference to the woman or their children." It was to the children. Well, now in his case, the children, and then in general case, those type of women.
Okay, hold on. Back that thing up. Because if you're going to say that women don't know how to listen, are you saying something worth listening to?
Now that's a great question.
Because we're not just gonna be listening to anything now, because it's me and this child. Like, I'm responsible for somebody else. So if you talking foolishness, you talking nonsense, I'm not following you off a cliff. We're not doing that. Oh, and so for me,
I agree with all of that. Now, if it's me talking, it's probably in their best interest to listen.
Oh my God. Okay.
I wish I would have laughed. I want to keep that straight face. But Facebook user says, it's just one dynamic of a relationship. Was married for 17 years to a great father, but terrible spouse.
Exactly. That's my whole point. Like, you can be really, really good with children and not good with your partner, because first of all, I'm not your child. So how you handle me is not going to be how you handle the children. So.
Yeah. And with the, yeah, I can't even get now. Ain't no change out for that book. Facebook user said, let me go on and get my comments in.
Get your comments in.
Motherhood and womanhood are totally different.
Agree.
Some women suck at parenting, but may be a great mate. Some females are great mothers and can't keep a relationship with handcuffs.
Not handcuffs.
Can't even arrest her. Can't lock it up. Lock it up. He said with no handcuffs.
Not handcuffs. Come on.
Aspen Smith says, I think every woman is a prize.
I don't.
I almost couldn't read. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Aspen Smith says, I think every woman is a prize. There is a personhood that holds value, right? Whether you are a woman or a man. Then as a woman, if you don't have confidence in yourself, then how can you portray yourself as a self-actualized woman? However, parenting can be a spectrum, because some people don't know how to parent, and sometimes you're just in a state of survival that you forget to take care of yourself as a woman.
So I actually love this comment. I don't think that every woman is a prize. I do think that every woman holds value. I think every human holds value just because you're alive, but I don't think every woman is a prize. And I say that as a counselor, and I have been in some couple sessions, and I'm like, what is even happening here? Girl, you the problem, but whatever, that's not this. And I do also think that because of survival mode, like, we forget to, like, I see so many women who are like, I'm like, what makes you happy? And they like, y'all don't even know, because I've been changing diapers and paying bills, so I don't even know. So I think that whole, like, in survival thing and forgetting to take care of yourself, I think that's so on point and so true. And I love this comment.
I would say I don't think every woman is a prize, but I think every woman has the potential to be a prize.
Okay.
But I do respect the humanity in every person. And then definitely on the fact that you're scrambling to take care of everyone when you're a single mother. And so you don't take the time to take care of yourself. I think a lot of men, especially men that are good fathers, that are attentive fathers and attentive men and husbands, can definitely identify, because we naturally feel that. We naturally drive to do that. And we can also sacrifice so much that we don't even look at ourselves. But we're trying to get that changed and get some balance in that. So thank you, Aspen. Great.
Yeah, that's a dope comment. Thank you.
Facebook user says, I guess my definition of great catch is different because why does she have to turn it over? If she's successful, why not collaborate?
So I think this is a good point.
Yes.
Because a lot of dudes come in and try to like beat their chest, let me take it over, I'm head of the house. When I agree with this completely, if she's running it and she's successful at doing it, let's put it together and we can both do it. Like we can both do the things that we need to do to make this house run properly and effectively. And I think if we came into relationships with more of a spirit of collaboration and less of a spirit of head beneath, in charge, not in charge, I think the relationships would be healthier and happier.
And I think that's the foundation of any great relationship. And, you know, people talk about older relationships. They really worked that way. It was yin and yang. They may have came across. And I just think that was a gift that, you know, older generations, marriages and things like that, that was just a gift that was given to the husband and the father and the man. But it was definitely a yin and a yang because you can't do it by yourself, not effectively anyway.
Okay, I'm going to go with that. I know the older generations, they just, stuck together.
Well, no, it was a lot of you wasn't enough. We got a little. It's a little bit of a change, and some people took advantage of the circumstances.
Yes, they did.
Even those individuals, it was still yin and yang. They still got assistance from the woman. They may have done it bad, but you know that was the thing.
Not they may have done it bad. Okay.
Well, you know, I didn't want to go into details on it. That's a whole show by itself. Facebook user says it requires balance. Love the word. Single mothers, if having to do it all, take on masculine attributes. And when, if a mate comes along, she may be mothering them versus mating with them. All right.
Exactly. And that's why I think it doesn't translate. Just because you're a good single mom does not mean you're going to be a great mate. And this comment is exactly what I'm saying. If you enter your relationship the same way you're managing your children, you're going to mother your partner. And then your partner going to be like, sis, you tripping. Or they're going to fall into letting you mother them. And then you're eventually going to resent them anyway. So,
yes. So I wanted to give credit where credit is due. So the definition question earlier, they probably didn't give permission, so I ain't gonna throw them out there. We love to comment anyway. Z says, is there also? Is it okay if I call her Z? That's fine. That's okay.
Oh, but thank you for asking. That's so respectful. Thank you.
Absolutely. Is there also a way to cut single women some slack when they are dating? They get pulled in multiple directions. Dating shouldn't be stressful for them.
Oof. Now she's like somebody that's been on a dating journey with their mama.
You know, from my perspective, this is what I would say to that. Yes, you do give some slack, but you know it's like anything else. If you give too much slack, you got a lot of rope around there. People are gonna get tripped up and hung up. So you really want to set, I think, an expectation, and so we all have to be responsible for ourselves. So I would say even single mothers would have to really take a look at themselves and say, am I in the mental state? Am I in the physical state? Not as far as the body, but time, availability, emotional. Do I have the emotional capacity to take on entering someone else in my life that I can be dating with instead of mothering? So you can give a little bit of a slack, but you know, I think at that point, you really need to understand where your barriers and your limits are. That would be my answer to that.
I love that. I said yes, but I don't. Okay.
I think she was agreeing with the balance question, or the definition of great catch versus, you know, about turning it over. That comment.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So what makes a woman a good catch from a man?
I hate answering this question.
Why you hate it?
Because it's really me putting my business out there, because I can't speak for all men, because some men want a lot of different things. But so it's hard to say that. But I say fundamentally,
Mhm.
a woman that's an effective communicator, a woman that's trustworthy,
Okay.
a woman who is aligned with your beliefs and values, a woman, and most importantly, a self-aware woman. And I equate that to a woman that loves themselves.
Mhm.
Um, so if you have those elements in tow, then I think that makes a good woman. Because when you're self-aware and you love yourself, even when things are not good, they're going to be affected. And then you're an effective communicator. You can
Right.
have the discussion about it. So you're going to find solution. And when you're self-aware, you tend to be able to. That I think that's a byproduct of being able to compromise on circumstances. You don't take yourself so serious, right? And
Right.
you're considerate of other people automatically. And if your beliefs and values align, that's going to minimize a lot of arguments between the two people. So whatever those values are with the two people, they need to be in alignment. And if you're trustworthy, that's going to always build. To me, that's a lot of glue into a relationship and into an individual, any individual, man or woman. But those are the keys that I think that would make a good woman, in my opinion.
Okay. Love it.
Oh, Alexis Butler's in the building.
Hey, sis.
There's something in the name, so I'll let y'all know that. That's my bird right there. She say, wouldn't it be different for men?
Gonna be different. I think that's what you were saying before. You said you hate answering the question because you can only speak for like what makes a good catch for you. So I agree that it's different for different men, but I think the basis, like the bird's eye view, is probably the same. I think different men are gonna have like different levels of nuance and stuff like that, but I think the basics,
Yeah, I think a woman on the same page with you as far as your beliefs and values, a woman that's trustworthy, a woman that's I say inspiring and motivating, but that to sum that up, supportive, a woman that knows how to support someone. You know what I'm saying? Not financially. Don't limit women. Stay in your seats. Do not throw bras and panties on the stage.
that was
Okay?
gonna say, excuse me,
Yeah,
sir. What?
supportive in the right way, not financially or anything like that. Effective communicator and someone who loves themselves and is self-aware. Yeah, I think that, and I'm gonna tell you, that's a list. Even some men don't even know that's what they need to be looking for. I need to teach a class on that.
I think they know what they're looking for. I just don't think they can articulate it as well as you can.
Oh, okay.
I think they know what they want.
Yeah, they will. All right, let's get into it.
Okay.
So what makes a great? So let's the question poses, since y'all had me in the boiler. So what makes a good man?
Hold on. Tanya Lachey said, "That's it. Articulate." Hey, man, come on. What makes a good man? Oof. I'm gonna say all the things that you said, plus a little hype.
I love it.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let me chill out. So
Now I
this
slid that in there.
now I got to get back. Now I got to get back on it because this is my point. That's why I put.
I was kidding.
No, you wasn't. Many a truth is said in jest, and I get it because I've heard it and I understand it. Now you know, I benefit from that desire, that very artificial reasoning. Um,
I'm just saying. Me and sis on the same page.
but
I'm just saying.
child, but man, what's going?
Heavy on the height, sis.
Y'all got it bad. So, with that being said, this goes into what I meant by the delusion. So, I really want to talk about the aspects of that understanding. So, help me understand why a woman would think or even not be self-aware enough to understand that this doesn't equate that. And then why would you champion that? Why would you celebrate that? It's the same as no, I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna stay on topic, but to state that because you're a good mother and you just held things down, that equates to you being a good person. So it's that delusion. Where does that come from in the mindset? You know what I mean?
Right. But I think that because they see themselves as succeeding in one area, they think that they're going to succeed in another. I think that's what that is. And I think that being a single mom and holding it down has become such a badge of honor that, like, okay, I held this down, check, I got it. So any man will be lucky to have me because I can hold it down.
Mhm.
But I just think that the things that make you great as a single mom just don't translate to marriage.
The things that make you great as a single mother just do not translate into relationship.
Yeah, because
being a good mother does not make you a good woman.
Right, because one of the best things a single mom needs to be able to do is multitask. And that's a basic one, right? That's because they're responsible for everything. They have to work. They got to keep up with the soccer schedule or the baseball schedule or whatever they got going on, right? But just because you know how to multitask and manage your home doesn't mean when you throw this relationship on top of that, it now becomes something else for you to manage and not be in. Does that make sense? You get what I'm saying? Like, you're good at juggling all the different balls, but then you add this one in there and it just becomes something else on the to-do list.
So
that's what I'm saying.
So if you do try to slide a man in there and he's on the to-do list, and also wrapping him up into your actions, and I may be saying the same thing, but emotionally, the way that you may deal with him is not going to be that. And then you've kind of touched on the fact that if you're in the mode of managing things in that fashion, but if you meet a man who has something to say, something of tangibility to say, and he's proven himself to be a quality person, and he may have an alternate thought perspective on how to address something, maybe a little more efficient, a little different, or he may notice something that you don't because you've been doing all this juggling.
Right.
Be open to, I think the mark of, if you can balance that, is having the ability to step back from that and understand that, okay, let me listen and apply before I deny.
I agree with that. And I think the struggle is I already got this thing going and it's running smoothly and effectively. And so you kind of got to prove to me that I need to listen to you. Ooh, I'm not saying that that's good. I'm totally.
Yeah. I'm going to say that's rough because.
But I'm saying that's probably how people feel. I'm sure that's how I felt. Like, I'm managing this, my baby making straight A's. We what's up? What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? You have to be somebody worth listening to if I'm going to give over my life to you. Oh, that was dramatic. Not give over my life, but add you to my life.
No, Doc, I think it came out kind of naturally. So I think there's some validity to it. Don't let the feminism run in, come try to grab you and snatch you back into the fold.
It got me. It was like, come back, sis.
You're like, wait a minute. No, not my life. Yes, because I think you'll value something. You'll take care of something if you give it the right amount of nuance and influence in your life. You know what I'm saying? You'll take care of it because you know it'll take care of you. And that may be a dilemma. That's the dilemma, maybe, is the inability. You want proof first, but you can't get wet and go swimming unless you get in the water. So you have to listen. And I don't know why these are such trigger words for a lot of women to listen. I ain't gonna say the word obey because that ain't what I'm doing. I'm having a conversation and I'm asking because I would value, and I want a woman who I value their input. Now, if you're telling me something silly and ignorant, then of course I'm going to tell you that's silly and that's ignorant. Probably not in those words.
Yeah, because what if they think it's like super deep?
I'll be like, show me the proof. I'll really get analytical and go into scientists on you. So my hypothesis. So where is the study at? Where's the documentation? You know what I'm saying? Where's the report on this? So, but anyway.
Hold on. What your daughter be saying? Be so for real right now. Ain't nobody got no report.
Well, honey, I'm just not confident in that. In order for me to make that decision, I'm gonna need a little bit more, some more evidence and some more proof on that. So I appreciate your contribution and your thought, and I will look into that, but I can't guarantee you that's the direction we're gonna go, baby.
That was good.
That's
I
simple.
feel like that would pacify somebody.
Yeah.
That's good.
But let's go to the comments because I've been going for a long time. Aspen Smith says, "Are men considered prizes?"
I think so.
Absolutely.
All
Watch
these
this.
people out here talking about I don't want no man, sis. I am happily dependent. They are a prize. Now they got to be worth something. They got to be bringing something to the table. They got to be worth following. They got to be somebody that I respect, somebody that I trust. All that. But yes, I do think they are the prize.
And so my answer to that, okay, go ahead,
As
Doc.
well, like
No,
I
go ahead.
absolutely think women are the prize. But I think if the competition is married and we both get married, then I got the prize and you got the prize, right?
Yeah, ain't no competition. I want everyone to win.
Okay, that too.
Yeah.
But I do think
But I think every man is a prize. See, there's a personhood that holds value,
not
whether
you.
you're a man or a woman.
Not you reading her comment back to her.
If you don't have confidence in yourself, then how can you portray yourself as self-actualized man?
Sir, next
However,
sir.
I'm now Aspen. I'm saying that out of respect. I'm doing the jest out of respect, not out of that was an excellent answer and it's right. But I do think it applies. But you did say that man and woman on the other side. But to answer that, I think we all are prizes just based off of the humanity of us all and the contribution we can bring. You know, that's different for different people. But yes, ultimately.
Read the comment.
Okay. Oh, next comment. Alexis Butler says the prize is a healthy relationship. Come on,
sis. Come on, sis.
Say y'all, that's mine. I made that. I made that. I just want y'all to know I made that. Tanya Lachey says, I was once told if I put as much effort into my relationship as I did with mothering, raising my son, I would be a hell of a partner, wife. That statement to me jacked me up. And I had to reach out to an older seasoned woman to get an understanding.
Can I know what the older seasoned woman said to you? Like, how did she break it down for you so that it was like palatable to you so that you were able to receive it? Because I actually like I think for me, if somebody had told me that, I probably would have initially been offended, but I think that is true. I think we put so much effort into our children that the relationship tends to get the leftovers. And that's why our children are fantastic and our relationship is kind of mediocre.
Yeah, what squeaky wheels get the oil. And but that's a hard place to be as I think as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
As a parent, I think Miss Shirley mentioned balance, which is the greatest word that I love, balance, because I think it exists. You don't think it exists?
Mm-hmm. I don't believe in balance.
Yeah, it may be that shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll be amongst the stars. I think trying to balance that, trying to shoot for balance, and also balance, I think, is relative. It's subjective.
It's super subjective. And the reason I don't really believe in balance or teach people to strive for balance is because by definition, it means that all things are equal. All things are never really be equal because it's 8 hours in a day. You're going to work 8, sleep 8, then leave 8 to do all the other things equally. Like, I just don't think that's real.
Doc, stop it. What we're talking about is balancing. Either you gotta have you're gonna be a parent, you're gonna do that. But you can make time for that for your
time. I believe in prioritization. I do not believe in balance. So sometimes your children are going to need more of you. They're going to need more of you because they potty training, they got a spider bite, they go in the like whatever they got going on. But then there are times when your relationship has to take precedence because mommy and daddy still got to be husband and wife. I just don't think it'll ever all be equal.
Yeah, I don't think balance is.
See?
In this, speaking about it in this terms, making it 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
I think the balance applies that if it helps for your relationship or your circumstance, to function efficiently and effectively for your needs. If you can do that, then you have achieved balance.
You've achieved happiness.
I'll take that. She just called it balance happiness.
Okay, so she said she gonna comment when she stopped driving. Okay, yeah, because be safe.
Yeah, come on now. Careful now. I'm not going to have responsibility on my heart. Alexis Butler said,
Listen,
I'm going to let you
be so for real. She said it one time. She said, Doc, be so for real. I said, oh, I'm about to start using that. That is my new saying. I be like waiting to slide it in the conversation. I be like, is this my moment? This ain't it. Oh, this my moment.
All right. Aspen Smith says, I define balance as mental and emotional steadiness. I like Aspen.
I like emotional steadiness now.
Says, I know everything won't be equal, but at least you and your partner are steadily making progress within your relationship.
Okay.
Come on, Aspen. Come on, to the right side. I like it. Let's go, Mountainous Smith. Now, Aspen, Mount, Skin. Okay, y'all didn't get it.
All right. Got it. We got it.
She also says sometimes your partner might counterbalance you, which provides balance in the relationship.
Okay, come on, Aspen.
That right? Miss Steph says we need to remember to be gracious to one another in any relationship and respect everyone's background. The journey is different for everyone.
Love it.
I can see that. And I think that kind of goes into Z's comment, like, can you give a little, you got to get a little leeway, understanding that they have been doing those things. Now, I do know that is absolutely unequivocally possible. I've seen beauty come from that. And in this situation, it was a man and a woman, and the patience and the time and the effort that they both put in to make that to both to evolve, to learn. But I'm gonna give kudos to the dude. I just seen him do a lot of work, be very patient, to help, I would say to balance things. And what blossomed from that was very, very impressive. So I've seen that done in real life, in real time. So understanding single motherhood and what they've had to develop, taking the time to kind of peel through those layers is going to be important too. But but you have to peel through those layers, and then on top of that, the self-awareness that I spoke about, that I think is important in a relationship, that individual, and we're talking about women and motherhood versus womanhood. Right. So I'm not picking on women, but that's just the topic.
Okay, we with you.
I'm talking to the people who will view this later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So with that being said, that it's they have to be open to receiving that too. So knowing when you bring someone in, they're going to have different habits, different ways, different perspectives. So even in relationship, we be thinking about, okay, they may clean up little things. They may clean differently, clean at a different time. They may do things differently, use different brands of stuff. So you got to be open and willing to talk through those things and know that they're going to be factors. Because if you stand on I've been doing it well, like you mentioned earlier, Doc, I've been doing it well and holding this down, and my baby got all A's, and I don't know about change or nothing, then you might run off some things that'll end up, just because they're different, don't mean that they're wrong. They're just different.
Absolutely. I agree with that. But I also think it takes a special kind of man, tall one, to even want to entertain or enter the space properly and from a healthy place of a single mom.
Yeah, I think
emphasis on healthy.
Yeah, and I think it definitely would take a patient man and a guy, a man who's
self-aware.
Very much so. No, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I champion, because if you're not going to, if I see that you're not receptive to it, it's not something I can fight. And I'm not going to fight and push too much. There has to be some give. If you've embedded yourself too much into your ways of thinking, and you don't have room to explore other ideas and concepts on anything, then I think you're really closing yourself off from ever allowing someone else to enter in. Now, me personally, I'll give it a go. That's how I say. I'll give it a go because I'm going to talk about it openly. And if they're combative on even me broaching the concept, because that lets me know you're not self-aware. Because if you're self-aware, you know that you do not have all the answers. Your perfection is not your rest mate. You know what I mean? And you at least have the patience to listen, to understand. And I'll listen to understand and be like, contemplate it, be like, that's just complete trash what they're talking about. I don't know what manipulative bullshit they trying to run over on me. And then calmly walk away. You still have that card to play. So no need to get outraged and just respond. So people listening to respond instead of react, so to speak.
Yeah. I think you have to always listen for like the emotion and the information. And when you're too busy listening to respond, listening to defend, listening to prove, you miss a lot. Like, in the opportunity for connectedness, the opportunity to see the other person's point of view, or the opportunity to grow is not there when you're not really listening.
So how do they? So the benefits, so what? I'm trying to think of what could be the benefits, and I know it was mentioned earlier. What could be the benefits of that?
What?
I'm just trying to find. I'm just trying to find something positive out of a woman who functions in that way.
Functions in what way? As a single mom?
Yeah, from on the time where they closed-minded, already been holding down, don't want to change.
So I don't know that they're so you're assuming that she's closed-minded. You're assuming that she don't want to listen. The thing is, I'm just saying you got to be saying something worth listening to. That's all I'm saying. She'll listen. If it's
right. This scenario was brought to me. So with you saying that, I'm saying that if that's been tried and they ain't listening, then leave it alone.
Yeah, I agree, because we finna be doing all that arguing. I'm not finna argue my point every time I want to use method products. You want to use these kind of products. Like, it don't have to be an argument every time. Like, that's crazy. Who's doing that? Life is rough.
Let me get a bonus question in there.
Okay.
If they have children, let's say ranging, from preteen to teen, I guess. Because I'm saying that because those are the ranges where, kids kind of feeling themselves. They got a little something to say, and they, it's you ain't my daddy. This my mama house. Stuff like that.
Right.
Or something like that, or this my house, or those type of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying you living there, or you may be visiting. She wanted you there, so to speak.
Right.
And then you try to, having a conversation. How do you broach a conversation if you notice the static between the children? They're crossing boundaries with their mate. Like, how does the man approach this mother, this single mom, about that? What's an effective way to do that? Or is that even possible?
I mean, I think they get to say, hey, I'm feeling a little disrespected when I come over here. How does this normally work? Go from there.
No, okay, good.
Because here's the thing. Because sometimes single moms, because they juggle so much, they're not privy to the disrespect. Or if they're one of the ones who you're saying they don't manage their children properly, I think that came up earlier, they may not view it as disrespect. They may just be like, oh, no, whatever. So they may not think it's disrespectful, right? Because everybody's different. And what I think is disrespect, you may not think it is, and vice versa. So I think you have to bring the point up because A, she needs to know this is deemed disrespectful, and then B, y'all get to decide how y'all move forward, or if y'all move forward.
Because I think that's the biggest thing, because we can't talk it out, and we ain't necessarily have to agree. But if you can show me you really seriously contemplated what we're talking about, then you got something to work with. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you're met with static, or if there's blame, I'm like, what did you do? Well, no, I was grown, and I'm in this space. Because you have to, because I think if you're dating a single mother, anticipate and expect that type of thing, because you're intruding on their own mama. And you got a lot of kids that feel that way, or children that feels that way, or the older they are, the more protective they may be. So I think that leads to what you mentioned earlier. There has to be a really self-aware man, and he need to be tall. Is what you said, a tall one that can facilitate that.
I agree.
Yeah. Facebook said, like, hello, everyone. Hello.
Hey.
We appreciate you being here. There we go. Aspen Snowtops said, conversation. Some people are not psychics. You need to discuss it so that she can talk to her children who might be having a hard time adjusting to the new relationship.
Right.
Great answer.
Thanks, let's not forget that children will act out when they're uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I think that's the perfect thing. Hello, Dr. Latoya, Mr. Lloyd Phillips Jr. Hello, Mr. Lloyd Phillips Jr. How are you today? So, we wrapping this thing on up.
Yeah. So we coming to the end. So do you have any, this is what I would say. If you were talking to this individual, what is it that you would share and say to them in their scenario? So basically, they're experiencing all these things. What would be your advice? And this is, you're talking to
the woman?
No, to the man. No, what would you say to the man? What would you say to the woman?
To the man,
yes,
who is experiencing a single mom who thinks she a catch, but she managing her children and she's not okay. Sir, is this really what you want? Can you see yourself doing this long term? Have you had a conversation with her to express your needs? Was she receptive to that conversation? And where do we go from here? That would be my approach, because sometimes people are so stuck in their ways that even after a conversation, they're not willing to hear you. I just don't know that you want to deal with that long term.
Absolutely.
As the woman,
now, what you gonna say to the non-listening? I am a prize because I'm a single mother, and I've held it down and raised my kids. I'm a catch. What you gonna say to her?
So we're gonna pretend that she's been seeing me for a while, and we have a rapport because I'm very direct, right? So I would say, sis, you absolutely are a prize, but right now it's giving very much third runner up. It's not giving winner, and here's why. Do you make your children listen? They cannot be disrespectful. They're gonna run him off, and they're gonna go to college and get a man or a woman or whatever, and they're gonna be gone, and you're gonna be here by yourself. Is the things that he's saying to you true? Do you respect what he's saying to you? Is this somebody you want to be with? Are there any type of changes that you're willing to make? Where's the compromise? These are some of the things that I would ask and get into.
Okay. I like it, Doc. I like it when you keep it 100
every time.
0.1. Aspen Smith says there are so many variables. I prefer heart leaves as opposed to snow tops. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. I'm glad she came in. I was hoping she came back.
Okay. So Tommy Lassay says, I was very offended when I was told that.
Right.
I went into defense mode. Mm-hmm. The seasoned woman basically told me I need to put more attention into my husband because the son will leave the home one day. She said much more, but you all are running out of time.
I figured she said something like that, and I was, and when you said you went to a more seasoned lady, I just heard there was an old lady sitting under a tree. What's that? Was that Betty Wright? Like, that's just what my mind went to. So I was just kind of wondering, like, how did she put it to you so that you could be receptive to it? I think I would have been offended too. I think I would have instantly been like, "You got me messed up." But then upon further reflection, which is what I try to get people to do, like just reflect a little bit more when people say these things to you. Is it true? Could it maybe possibly be true? Right? Because just because you don't like what was said, there may be something that you can take from it. So thank you for coming back, because I was really wondering.
Absolutely. Hey, and I'm going to use I'm wrapping up.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to use this comment to say thank you to our comment section and our viewers. Though even if you didn't comment, thank you for being here. And I promise you, something that you've discussed, something you've shared, something you've answered has definitely helped someone. It's going to enlighten someone. You're giving someone a different view, some other things to consider. So we really appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed any portion, any section of this show, if it's my beautiful bald head, it's my wonderful smile, my charisma, my attractive
aura. Go ahead and ask you what the people really want to know. How tall are you? That's what we really want.
How tall am I?
Yes.
Around 6'1".
6'1", y'all. 6'1", ladies. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Don't show up and be 5'10". We're gonna talk about you. Don't do that.
Do I look like I would lie?
But the amount of people who do.
Matter of fact, I know there's someone on this in the comment section. We got 4 minutes. We got somebody on the comment section that can verify that I am about 6'1". Let me see who's gonna come to my rescue. Don't have me out here.
Not a damn.
I know ain't nobody said nothing.
Not a nothing.
Never the truth. You know what? The truth
don't need defending.
Now the truth is like a lion. It don't need defending. It'll defend itself.
The truth don't need defending.
Yeah.
Somebody said check mark. So maybe you are 6. Oh, she said verified. Okay.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, but I was on my roll. I was really trying to be funny and put a little humor into it. But most importantly, I'm just saying, and I man, I had a good one lined up for you, Doc, but you stole my thunder. No, and you're good though. You're good. No, but anything about our show, I know you appreciate Doc's candor, especially her wisdom, and definitely her experience. This is a licensed therapist show. This is someone who has had these conversations, knows her business, because I definitely try to throw all kind of things up against the wall. And she got like the Wonder Woman wristbands. She just ding, 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 ding. Then she get in her invisible jet, and she tends to fly off. She definitely has a lasso of truth, and she can pull that out of people. I've seen that happen. So she definitely is a gem, and then we have her. So if any aspect of our show you really enjoy it, please share. Go to our Facebook page, Perspective Podcast. It's our group on Facebook. Join it so you can get the notifications. Most importantly, we love for you to comment on there, bring things to our attention to discuss, because we're not sitting up here as if we're just the end all to be all, and we know all. We really love getting your input because I love sparking thought, so I can go do research, do some more reading, get touched up on things. So we really want you to interact with us. And again, support the BS3 network. I promise you, it's not a waste. Any little bit helps. And definitely we want you to give credit to Perspective, because, we have award shows for what we do. I'm telling you, this is not just some fly by night. That's not something we do on the weekends type thing. So with that being said, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here. We're going to see you next week. Now I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, I'll be here next week. I'm not even.
Okay, because
I'm
on break.
It's the week of the 15th. that I may be scrambling, but I'll let everybody know next week what that'll look like. But again, thank you. We appreciate you being here. Do all the things I ask: like, share, subscribe, go to our Facebook group. It's perspective. And here's the thing: perspective is spelled with you put a 3 where the E goes. Okay, so it's like P3R.
You really got to think about it too.
Yes, you can't just ramble it off. So just the word perspective, and everywhere there is an E, you put a 3 podcast, and that'll bring you to our Facebook group. So we thank you. We appreciate it. And we'll see you on next week.
Bye. Right. Thanks, guys.